one of America's biggest industries.
From business to politics to sports, Asian men have risen to the top of nearly every profession. But sadly, some doors remain closed to them, and this troubles Dr. Daryl Hamamoto, professor of Asian American Studies at the University of California, Davis.
There are no Asian American men in mainstream porno.
He published his findings in a respected academic journal, and he substantiated his work with significant scholarly research.
Well, I came across this classic adult video called The World's Biggest Gangbang, and I looked at it very closely. I think it runs over 3.5 hours, and I came across not a single Asian American performer.
That's appalling.
If they were allowed in, it would indicate that Asian Americans at last, after 150 years, are reaching a level of equality that other groups have attained.
Dr. Hamamoto has a dream that one day Asian men will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the character of their penises. Sadly, Professor Hamamoto's dream may never be realized because of men like this. Rob Spallone, the visionary producer of the Sopranos 1 through 8.
Mr. Spallone, why don't you have any Asian men in your movies?
I don't know any Asian porn actors.
Would you say that your films are multicultural?
Yeah. I mean, anybody can watch them.
By ethnicity, what kinds of actors and actresses do you cast in your films?
Swirl Fest is lesbian, black and white. I have a series called My White Tight Ass, which is black guys, white girls, all anal. Trying to do the world's smallest gangbang, trying to get 15, 20 midgets. If I get 15, 20 midgets, then I'll shoot that.
But no Asian men.
Listen, I have nothing against anybody. I'll shoot anybody that comes in. Unless the company I'm shooting for tells me no.
Are you telling me that people will not pay to see Asian men getting a rusty trombone, snorting the camel, or icing the puck?
Snorting the camel? I never heard of that.
Snorting the camel. You know, the girl's on top, the guy's got his toe in her...
Oh, yeah. I've seen girls stick their whole fists.
Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on and not forget the real victims of this discrimination, Asian American actors.
What are some of the roles you've gotten?
Currently, I'm playing a minister on The Young and the Restless, and of course, I'm most identified as Captain Sulu from Star Trek.
But he still hasn't been able to break into the adult film business.
In the last few months, Young Wet Bitches and Cracker Jack 5 have gone into production. Did you get any calls for these projects?
What?
Young Wet Bitches.
Young Wet Bitches.
And Cracker Jack 5 have gone into production. Did you get any calls for these pictures?
Cracker Jack 5 and Young Wet Bitches. Oh, no, and I have never auditioned for a porno film.
Just didn't seem worth it, did it? I mean, why bother knocking on a door that you know is locked? Doesn't it sicken you that in the year 2003 we haven't moved beyond this?
Beyond what? The Asian guy thing? I don't give a I don't care about anything.
So it's someone else's problem.
It ain't mine.
But it's a problem Professor Hamamoto is doing something about.
I've made my own all Asian American adult film. And I wrote a very compelling storyline to bring the film together.
Come on in. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Oh my God, why has it taken so long for someone to make this movie?
No one really had the vision until I came along.
It's the worst piece of shit I ever seen. What does Professor Hamamoto think he's going to do with this thing?
Sell it all over the world.
He better have taken it and sticking it up his ass.
We showed your film to a preeminent producer of porn, and he seems to feel that your film is substandard.
He's trying to protect his own interests, which is probably the interest of, the white business world, I guess.
I don't give a Tell Professor Hamamoto, if he can get me the guys, these Asian guys that he's talking about that can't work in the porno business, to call me, I'll shoot them.
Finally, there may be hope.
Captain Sulu, do you think a day will come when your sons or grandsons will be accepted in this country as porn actors?
As porn actors.
It's almost too much to wish for.